Now, the old sort of calculus is that, and I'm talking about Taiwan and, of course, the tension surrounding the island, that the old calculus is that when the price of war becomes far less than the price of peace, wars do occur. And with decoupling, that price of war is actually going down and down because Beijing continually has less to lose, if you will.
Well, I wouldn't analyze the regional security market quite in that way. I don't think that the People's Republic of China wants shortly to invade Taiwan. They've said often that they want a peaceful reunification. There is a risk that if their blockades of Taiwan become ever more aggressive, that a military accident could occur. And equally, the United States has been clear, President Biden has been clear that the one China policy is one to which the U.S. still holds. Now, in the political and economic and technological domains, there is a risk of decoupling. There is a risk of conflict there. And the big question for those who are interested in the political economy of the region is where does de-risking sit on the spectrum? We know that business as normal on one side is not going to be possible. We know on the other side that full decoupling will be a disaster. Is de-risking really in the middle, or will de-risking move towards cleaving to decoupling? I think that will still be the geoeconomic focus on the region. There is concern about an accident at sea or in the air, to which the United States is regularly pointed, and that is why direct conversation between the United States and China is so important in the military domain.
And John, I guess in China's eyes, de-risking and decoupling are basically the same thing. I have to wonder, the new defense chief, Li Shangfu, is in Singapore. It's his first meeting since he took the post. What message do you think he's going to bring, especially after rejecting that meeting with Lloyd Austin?
Well, generally, is attending his first IISS Shangri-La Dialogue. The Chinese are here knowing that they need to engage with a variety of different defense ministers, both from the region and outside the region. It is certain that General Li will be restating the known Chinese position on what its core interests are in the region. He will assert that China's intentions in the area are entirely peaceful. He might refer to the global security initiative that his President Xi has mentioned in the past. And he will say, as General Wei Fenghe, his predecessor, did last year, that China wants a peaceful reunification with Taiwan, but if there is any declaration of independence or possibly a decision by Taiwan to acquire nuclear weapons, then China will not hesitate to defend that core of its core interests. So that will be expected. It will be delivered. It will be interesting to see what questions come from the floor, not principally from Americans or Europeans, but from Southeast Asians who are also concerned about the fact that China and the United States are not having regular face-to-face military and defense dialogues.
John, what would it take to actually ratchet these tensions down and get a working relationship, a proper working relationship there between Washington and Beijing?
What it would take to restore proper relations between Washington and Beijing in the military sphere is a variety of conversations at different levels. A couple of years ago, I think by one calculus, there was perhaps 250 different conversations between the U.S. military and China. Now it's down to something like 7 or 8. It's not just important that the two defense ministers speak to each other, but also that the head of the China Southern Theater Command will speak to Admiral John Aquilino, the Indo-Pacific Commander, and at other levels further down, that there's a constant information exchange and reassurances given that movements in the region have no aggressive intent. And unfortunately, the Chinese point of view is that if you create these guardrails, it might make the United States too confident about the stability of the area, and that at a time when there are not good relations between the two countries, it is better not to talk. And therefore, they are chalk and cheese apart in terms of the importance of dialogue as military confidence building measure.